The modest attire of Muslim women has become so commonplace that hijab, the Arabic word used to refer to the Islamic dress code, is now commonly used in English. One of the most visible aspects of Islam, hijab, is often the subject of controversy as well. Some view it as a sign of the oppression of Muslim women, while some others see it as an obstacle to the integration of Muslims in Western society. However, to Muslim women who practice hijab, it represents an act of obedience to God. It also represents a step towards freedom from being judged by their looks rather than their intellect. Non-Muslims tend to believe that modesty is only mandated for women. Modesty is actually mandated for both men and women. The difference lies in how they are required to implement it. The glorious Quran says in chapter 24, verses 30 and 31.
قل للمؤمنين يغضوا من أبصارهم ويحفظوا فروجهم ذلك أزكى لهم إن الله خبير بما يصنعون وقل للمؤمنات يغضضن من أبصارهن ويحفظن ولا يبدين زينتهن إلا ما ظهر منها وليضربن بخمرهن على جيوبهن ولا يبدين زينتهن إلا لبعولتهن أو آبائهن أو آباء بعولتهن.
Both men and women are required to dress and conduct themselves in a manner that befits their dignity and is not the cause of temptation for others. Hair is considered part of a woman's physical attraction. Therefore, covering of the hair for the woman is considered essential to the modesty of her attire. The role of women in Islam has also been misunderstood in the West because of general ignorance of the Islamic system and because of the distortions by the media. The Muslim woman is accorded full spiritual, economic, and intellectual equality with man, and is encouraged to practice her religion and develop her intellectual faculties throughout her life. In Islam, relations between the sexes are based on the principle of complementing each other. Because of the importance of the family as a fundamental building block to human society, Islam governs the relationship between men and women in the context of marriage. Illicit sexual activities and homosexuality are not permissible in Islam. The Quran teaches us that women have their rights and duties and are favored over men in some areas. Similarly, men have rights and duties and are favored over women in other areas. This is best described in the following verses. Chapter 4, verse 32.
ولا تتمنوا ما فضل الله به بعضكم على بعض للرجال نصيب مما اكتسبوا وللنساء نصيب مما اكتسبن واسألوا الله من فضله إن الله كان بكل شيء عليما.
One concept about Islam that a lot of non-Muslims and Westerners have is the whole concept of hijab, or the veil. This we call hijab. And some question, why do you wear it? When do you start wearing it? Do you wear it all the time? And basically, the hijab is required by women. It's not just covering the hair. It's wearing modest clothing that covers all of us except our hands and our face, of course. And it should be loose, not too tight, and just modest clothing, and we should cover our hair as well. And Muslims weren't the first people to do that. In ancient times, many women did that, and it was a sign of respect and dignity and even wealth to be able to afford clothing that covered you, not wearing rags, being able to cover your hair. And in many societies, for a long time, women covered their hair, or more recently, they would wear hats, even in the church. Nuns Traditionally, they cover their hair and they dress modestly also. As Muslims, there's not a certain color that we need to wear or a specific type of veil. Sometimes, based on where the Muslims are from, it could be their tradition.
في عقيدتنا إذا صلحت المرأة صلح المجتمع كله، بل هي الأصل، وكما يقال وراء كل عظيم امرأة.